What's going on, guys? Back with another Wizards video. Now today I want to talk about a player that has a lot of the fan base excited. Goes by the name of Jordan Poole. I'm here to talk about why I think he's bound for improvement here, and he can have a part 2 breakthrough. Now, when Wizards fans talk about guys who may have breakthroughs on the team, they talk about Corey Kispert, they talk about Denny Avdia, maybe Johnny Davis. I say Jordan Poole. Now, yes, he burst onto the scene with the Golden State Warriors. He was a big factor in them winning the championship a few seasons ago. And I think there's way more room to grow for Jordan Poole. I think he's set up right now to have a tremendous season and a more leading role, especially learning behind guys like Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, obviously, 2 Hall of Fame players, on a tremendous team under a Hall of Fame coach in Steve Kerr. But outside of just him, there's 2 other guys who joined the Washington Wizards who expanded their games, who improved on their games, and who helped take their games to different levels. The first guy I want to talk about is Kyle Kuzma. This is all evidence to support my basis on why I think Jordan Poole will have a part 2 breakthrough of what he's already done with the Golden State Warriors. Kyle Kuzma obviously came over in the trade for Russell Westbrook going to LA. LA gave Kyle Kuzma to the Washington Wizards. In his 2 seasons with the Washington Wizards, in his first season with the Washington Wizards, he had a career high in rebounds. Year 2 with the Wizards, he had a career high in points. Also had a career high in assists. He's grown his game from being just a spot-up shooter with the Lakers, playing off of AD and LeBron, to becoming a secondary ball handler, even coming off the bench, not coming off of the bench, but, being staggered with the second unit and being a lead ball handler on the second unit. Now, some folks may say, oh, he's not as efficient, he's blah, blah, blah. I think Kyle Kuzma, especially when he's going downhill, he's a tremendous player. Obviously has flaws to his game, but you can see the growth there. He's a good rebounder. He's good at getting to the basket, good at getting to the rim, decent at free throw shooting. He shot 73% from the free throw line, an improvement from last season. In his second year with the Wizards, he shot 73% from the free throw line. I think Kyle Kuzma can add on to what he's improved on as far as his ball handling, his vision. We've seen some goofy passes outside of Kuzma, but that's all a part of expanding your game. That's all a part of expanding your game. He's expanded his game offensively, not just scoring, but playmaking as well. Him at being, 6'10", defensively, there's room to grow. And he's been impressive, and that's a big reason as to why he was signed for the amount of money he was signed for this season while re-signing with the Washington Wizards. So I think Kyle Kuzma in his 2 seasons with the Wizards show a young guy, or a youngish guy. He was 26 when he joined the Wizards. It shows that you can improve from your old situation, come in with the Wizards, grow, and continue to expand upon your game. Now, the second player I want to talk about is a guy who's, in a way, a polarizing figure around the NBA. The Unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, his situation was a little different than Kyle's. Porzingis, it just wasn't working out in Dallas, whether it be injuries, whether it be chemistry with Luka. It just wasn't working out. So, Kristaps Porzingis was also traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Washington Wizards the season before last. He only played in 17 games in that first season. But last season, we got a full slate of games from Kristaps Porzingis. The issue with him was never talent, it was availability, which, shoot, he played 65 games, which is the most since his second year of his career, which was really impressive for me to see. But obviously, he averaged the most points that he has in his career with 23 points. He shot the best 3-point percentage of his career, shooting pretty much 39% from the 3. Well, that's tied with his 3rd season. So I would say up there with his 3rd season in New York. So one of his best shooting percentages from the three-point line coming over from the Wizards. I mean, he looked tremendous. He really did. He shot 85% from the free throw line. He did a really good job. You know, in an expanded role with the Washington Wizards, he was able to do more, had the ball more in his hands. Now, there were times where I wanted him to be a little bit more involved in the offense in the later half of the game, because the first quarter he will pop off, then kind of go away because the Wizards kind of wouldn't go back to him, which was weird. But Kristaps Porzingis, when you look at the numbers, he had a tremendous season. He really did. He was putting up all-stars type numbers. The Wizards just weren't winning that many games, per usual. But Kristaps Porzingis came over in his first full season with the Washington Wizards, coming over with a lot of question marks. I mean, going off of averaging just 20 points in Dallas to 23 with the Wizards, shooting the way he did. I mean, he was tremendous. And that's not even talking about his rim protection, because he was at the 4 and they moved him down to the 5, had him starting at the 5. As far as rim protection, he was a deterrent. He was effective down there defensively. And I think he had a tremendous season. And for the people who didn't look at the Wizards, and when you look at the numbers, and we look at the underlying numbers, he had a very impressive season. And I think that's a big reason as to why he was moved over to Boston. And Boston ended up moving for Kristaps Porzingis because of his season with the Wizards. There was a lot of questions coming from Dallas to Washington. But in Washington, there's less pressure, there's less scrutiny, and there's a bigger role. There's bigger roles to be had. So that leads me to my guy, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is a guy who's improved his points per game every single season. You know, his 4 seasons with Golden State, going from 8 points per game to 12 to 18 to 20. I think Jordan Poole is a guy who's going to have a tremendous amount of opportunity to playmake, have the ball in his hands, and not just be a secondary ball handler or a secondary creator, but to be the main creator, to be the main ball handler, to be the main offensive creator for the team. So naturally, I think his points per game is going to take a jump from 20. He may go from 20 to 23. He may go from 20 to 25. I think he's going to have a plethora of opportunities to go to the free throw line. He averaged 5 free throw attempts last season. He can average 6 to 7 free throw attempts. I mean, he shot 33% from 3, which was a drop off in comparison to his other seasons. Maybe he gets back up to 36, 37% from the 3. He averaged 15 field goal attempts. I think that may jump up. That may jump up to around 17 field goal attempts a game. I think he's going to have the opportunity to grow his game, to experiment with other things with his game. He's going to be going on the age of 24 years old, if he's not that already. I'm not sure when his birthday is. But Jordan Poole, like Kyle Kuzma, like Kristaps Porzingis coming in, they're going to have a lot of opportunity to grow, right? Kyle Kuzma expanded his role coming to the Washington Wizards. Jordan Poole will be expanding his role from off the bench in Golden State to becoming a starter, a full-time starter with the Washington Wizards. It's not going to be as scrutinized either. People don't watch the Wizards. People don't really care about the Wizards. That's a big thing. You know, with a guy like Kyle Kuzma coming from LA, playing in LA and also playing with LeBron. Kristaps playing with one of the best players in the NBA in Luka Doncic. And Jordan Poole playing with the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond, etc. You know, coming from that to coming to the Wizards is way less pressure, which I think helps players. You play a little bit more free, a little less nervous. And then on top of that, you add expanded role. I think Jordan Poole has an opportunity to average more assists than he has in his career. He can average 5 to 6 assists. He can average his highest points and points per game in his career. He can, average more free throw attempts than he's ever had because he'll have the opportunity, and I think he has the talent to grow his game. He's 24 years old. Who's to say he's even entered his prime yet? You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a James Harden, the Houston Rockets type of thing, where James Harden bursts onto the scene as a superstar with Houston. I'm not going to say all that. But I do believe Jordan Poole has the opportunity here to be special with the Washington Wizards. And I think he can do that, and I do believe he will do that. And going off of the last two guys who had talent and got an expanded role here and played pretty well, I think Jordan Poole will fall in line with that. And I think we're going to have a very fun season. And I think Jordan Poole is going to be a fan favorite here in Washington. And I'm excited to see him play. And I think a lot of Washington Wizards fans are excited to see him play. And I know Warriors fans will be keeping up with him and seeing what he's doing on the side. And it can be a very impressive season for him. So I think a part 2 of a breakout for Jordan Poole is in the books here, man. Mark my words. It's coming. So be prepared. And that's all I have for you guys in this video, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.